Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Star Wars Vault. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for new Star Wars content every week. Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a good weekend. For today's fanfiction, I'm going to explore what would have happened if Luke Skywalker killed Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi. We begin this story in the throne room where Lord Vader has brought his son Luke to face the Emperor in person. Young Skywalker had just turned himself into Vader in the hopes that he can turn his father back to the good side. Their last exchange of words represented the failure in this attempt. As Luke put it, "Then my father is truly dead." Now he stands in front of the Emperor, who uses the Force to take off the restraints on Luke's wrists. Darth Sidious makes it very clear to the Jedi that he will be serving him and in time will call him Master. Luke scoffs at this. He then retorts saying they will both be dead soon. Sidious laughs. "You're referring to your rebel friends, I see. Wait till they realize that this battle station is fully operational. Fire at will, Commander." Luke has a look of shock on his face. He turns to the window in fear for his friends' lives. Palpatine goes on to taunt Luke over and over, stating his friends will die along with the rebellion. Luke reasonably starts to grow angry, his blood beginning to boil. The Emperor picks up on this and puts his hand on the Jedi's weapon. "You want this, don't you?" he asks. "With all of your hatred, you can take your weapon. Strike me down with it, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete." Skywalker looks at the Dark Lord and then his lightsaber. He wants to pull it to him, but hesitates. Luke knows he will be just playing into Palpatine's hands. Sidious decides to push him over the edge. "Go on, young Skywalker. Do it! You and your father will forever be my servants. It is your destiny." Luke has had enough. He force pulls his weapon from Palpatine's chair and ignites his green lightsaber. As soon as he swings his blade at the Emperor, it is met by Vader's red saber. The two Skywalkers begin to clash their laser swords as Darth Vader won't allow his son to strike down the Emperor. Luke knocks his father down and tells the Sith Lord he does not want to fight him. Vader only adds to his master's sentiment that Luke must give himself to the dark side in order to save his friends. Frustrated with his father's compliance, Luke barks back, "Father, there's nothing you can do to make me turn to the dark side. Nothing to make me fight you." Vader stands straight. "You are too naive, my son. You truly don't know the power of the dark side. I sense that you have strong feelings for your friends. One in particular most of all, your sister. You actually have a twin sister." Luke starts to panic internally. His body is visibly shaking from hearing this. "You are unable to hide your feelings from me, Luke. Surely you wish to save her. Learn to use the dark side, son. If not, I will turn your sister instead." "No!" Luke shouts. He charges at Vader. The two re-engage with their lightsabers. With ferocious swings of force, Luke begins to take it to the galaxy's most feared monster. Darth Vader slowly loses his strength, and with each passing moment he grows weaker. The conflict within the Sith Lord Luke had spoken about earlier seemed to be more apparent than ever. Not once did Vader make an attempt to switch to the offensive once he sparked the dark side within his son. While Anakin knew how powerful Luke was, the father chose not to combat his son with his full strength in fear of killing him. As Luke continues his onslaught, Vader drops to a knee before Luke finds an opening and effectively disarms Vader, who falls on his back. Luke had just given his father the eye for an eye punishment, more in the form of arm for an arm. Darth Sidious laughs with enjoyment. "Good, young Skywalker. Now you must honor your father and take his place in order to make yourself more powerful. Do not hesitate. This is the way of the Sith. Lord Vader will be proud to have you succeed him." Luke stares at Sidious. The Jedi Knight exudes pure rage and hatred in his eyes. He looks to his father with great angst, unsure of what he must do now. The broken shell of Anakin looks up and says, "You must, Luke. You must do this to save your sister. Use your hatred to finish me." Luke thinks about Leia and the situation that he's in. He becomes overwhelmed with fear, which plays into his emotions. Vader just gave him the nod, to which Luke tensed up and used all his emotion to impale Darth Vader through his chest. Before Vader dies, he whispers to Luke, "Grow your power in the dark side and destroy him so that you may rule, son. It is your destiny." Darth Vader dies before his son Luke. The Emperor praises Skywalker for passing his test. Luke insists he must rescue Leia and his friends. Palpatine was opposed at first, but the Force soon spoke to him. He sensed the Death Star was going to explode, as Lando Calrissian was leading the operation. The Emperor posed to his new apprentice that they must move quickly to his shuttle so they can fly down to the moon Endor. As they are flying down, they watch the second Death Star blow up from above them. "I had to make that one since you annoyingly destroyed the first one, young Skywalker." Luke smirked at his seemingly new master. They arrive on surface and meet Leia, Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and R2. Leia asks her brother, "Luke, what is going on? What is the Emperor doing here?" "Yeah, Luke, you mind filling us in on all this?" Han questions. Before Luke can say anything, Darth Sidious steps in front to answer. "Ah, yes. My rebel friends, allow me to update you on all the great news." Sidious raises his arms in an uplifting fashion, similar to what many politicians do when they recite a speech. With an evil grin on his face, the Emperor throws his hands forward and begins to electrocute all of Luke's friends. Luke is blindsided. He charges at Palpatine, who deflects the Jedi with a stun and continues his carnage on Han, Leia, and Chewbacca. Within seconds, both Han and Chewie were shocked to death, causing Luke to scream, "No! You'll pay for this!" Palpatine stops his Force lightning and then lifts Leia with the Force choke. "She's my sister! Please, spare her! I'll do anything!" While holding Luke down on his back with the Force, Darth Sidious clenches his fist, effectively killing Leia as Luke watches helplessly. The son of Vader breaks down over his sister's brutal death. His sadness quickly turns into hatred as he lunges at the Emperor to challenge him. Hell-bent on getting revenge, Luke finds himself in a fight with Sidious, who pulled out one of his red lightsabers to entertain Luke's fight. After several parries, Palpatine catches Luke off balance and force pushes him into a tree. Once he tries to get up, the Emperor lights him up with a barrage of Force lightning. "Your attachment to your friends make you weak. You must lose everything you once knew in order to be my servant, my apprentice." Palpatine lets up on the young Jedi turned Sith. Beaten up and exhausted, Luke realizes he cannot defeat the Emperor. Not yet, at least. With plenty of fuel for his newfound hatred, Luke decides to obey Sidious, since he really has no other choice at this moment. Over the next 3 years, young Skywalker has become infinitely more powerful, learning the dark side from his master, Lord Sidious. The Emperor gives him the alias of Starkiller when tasked on Imperial missions. The Empire had bounced back quick after the second Death Star explosion. The Emperor's escape from death proved to be crucial, along with the powerful Starkiller apprentice that he has been grooming. Luke had to make many sacrifices up to this point. He's had to kill hundreds, if not thousands of rebels in service to his master, some of which were personal friends, like the Red Squadron pilot Wedge. While some rebels remained, their strong leaders are gone. Both Leia and Han were killed, but even worse, Luke turned to the dark side. This is such a momentum swing in a galactic war, as his father displayed a very similar shift in the galaxy during the Clone Wars. It was clear and evident. The Skywalkers contributed so much to the rise and survival of the Empire. This was not lost on Luke, who began to think a Skywalker should rule said empire. He started to have dreams in which a hybrid of his father would appear to him, both Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader in one apparition. "Luke, it is time. I will share the secrets needed for you to fulfill your destiny. A long time ago, Darth Sidious told me that he killed his master Darth Plagueis in his sleep after he was taught everything Plagueis knew. This is the key to unlocking your legacy and ruling the galaxy." The former Jedi, now known as Starkiller, wakes up. He is enlightened with this knowledge and puts more pieces to the equation together. Luke had recently mastered the power of Force lightning from his master, along with many dark side powers before that. The Sith apprentice waited a few days before finding the best opportunity to catch Palpatine at his most vulnerable. Starkiller silently kills and disposes the Emperor's guards using Force Crush and telekinesis. He makes it into Palpatine's sleeping chambers and wastes no time as he starts to shoot bolts of electricity into his master's body. Sidious had just celebrated the submission of the rebellion that night with large consumption of adult drinks. He wakes up to his own demise, as he is now fully paralyzed. Not even able to yell at his apprentice, who is using every bit of effort to fry the man who took everything from him. He thinks about Leia and how he couldn't save her when she was the reason he turned to the dark side in the first place. He thinks about what Anakin told him, how he must take the throne. After a few intense moments, Darth Sidious meets his fate. The last thing he can think of before he dies is how he is suffering the same fate as his master Plagueis. Luke stops shocking Palpatine as he can sense his master's death. Ironic, Starkiller says as he walks out of the chambers. After the death of Sidious, Luke Skywalker dropped his Starkiller alias and was immediately hailed by the government and military as the new Galactic Emperor. While still controlled by the dark side at times, Luke wishes to atone for his self-perceived crimes and works to unify the systems in order to establish long-term peace. The new Emperor is not afraid to lay the hammer down, but prioritizes being fair. This garnered large amounts of respect from many constituents, as Emperor Skywalker strived to achieve a much better legacy than his predecessor. And that is what would have happened if Luke Skywalker killed Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi. As always, it's fun for me to make these stories. I'm grateful for all of you who leave such nice comments on these videos, as well as new what-if suggestions. And by the way, we just surpassed 1,000 subscribers recently, so thank you all for your support. Let's keep it going and head for 2,000 next. As for this what-if, let me know your thoughts on this. Did you enjoy this story? What would you have done differently? Make sure you drop a comment below. Also, don't forget to force push the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you everybody once again for helping this channel grow larger every day. I'll catch you later this week with another fanfiction, so until then, my friends, may the Force be with you.